I probably talk to about a dozen different CMOs of 8 and 9 figure brands regularly, every single week. It's how I sharpen my skills as, iron sharpens iron kind of thing. And we talk about everything. We talk about the challenges we're having. We're talking about the wins we find. We vent to each other. We celebrate together. And we talk about every single tactic that we try. And I don't think any one of them has ever claimed that their ad account is super reliable or constant or rock solid. More often, they describe their ad accounts as volatile, erratic, right? There's algorithm changes that throw everything out of whack. There's delivery and spend glitches every month. And listen, I'm Meta's biggest supporter and advocate. We still spend about 90% of all of our advertising dollars on Meta, and the money I've made from running Facebook ads has bought me and my family houses and cars and vacations. So I'm not here to just shit on the Meta, but I'm here to acknowledge that it's glitchy. It's frustrating. It's not the most reliable thing we work with, yet we all treat our ad account like it's the only creative testing ground that we have access to. But it's not. 2 years ago, we at Original Grain stopped using our ad account as our primary creative testing ground, and now we test out new concepts, new messaging, new images, and a whole lot more on our website first. Then when we find a winner, we make ad creative that has similar messages and concepts and content that we just tested on our website. And now when we invest to turn that into ad creative and we put our dollars behind it, our hit rate is incredibly high because we've already proved that this new angle increases conversions. So that's what we're going to talk about on this episode. And we can't do any of that website creative testing without our sponsor, IntelliGems. They're not just for price testing. They let you test photos and videos and banners and CTAs and copy and headlines and a whole lot more on your website. So if you get to the end of this episode and you want to start using your website as a more reliable creative testing ground like we have, then go to intelligems.io, schedule a demo, and let them know I sent you to keep supporting the podcast. Okay, today I'm going to cover how we test messaging, visuals, whether it's photos or graphics or banners or whatever, and then site elements like navigation and buttons and where things are. First up, messaging, and I'm going to keep my thoughts on messaging testing here pretty short because next episode is a deep dive on copywriting and headlines. I'm not going to go super deep on it now, but all I want to say is that messaging matters. Matters almost more than anything. The right messaging can increase your conversion rate, it can increase your AOV, and the right messaging on a high traffic landing page can increase the performance of every single ad channel you have. Every ad and every ad set, every influencer deal, every email you send, every text you send, everything can improve when you nail messaging on your website. So every sales period, we test 3 to 4 message variations. Every time we launch a new collection or a new style of product, we test a couple message variations. And every time performance starts to struggle on a historical best-selling watch, we're going to test messaging again. So if you want to know how I write all these messages, make sure you tune into the next episode. But for now, I just want to convince you how important it is to be testing your messaging. That's why I put it first, and that's in this episode, and that's why next episode is entirely dedicated to testing your messaging. But there's still some other important areas to test, so I want to deep dive onto the visuals right now. Again, this is something we do all the time, and I'm going to show you some real examples of tests we've ran recently to test different visuals on our site. First up, we tested a banner on our homepage with lifestyle photography versus a banner that was mainly product photography, and the results were overwhelming. There's no change to AOV, but 19% increases in conversion rate, revenue, and profit per session, extrapolated over a month. Implementing the winner of this test can add an extra $145,000 in profit for us. So I'd say that's pretty impactful. I don't know if you guys heard me. $145,000 in profit from nailing our homepage banner during a high traffic sale. Next up, We tested a banner on a high traffic landing page of ours, and we had tested this banner a bunch before. We'd done lifestyle versus product. We've tested using customer testimonials as kind of quote graphics on it. We tested different products. We tested how many products we show on the banner. But I started thinking I've never tested not having a banner at all. So that's what we tested. I wanted to see that if we got people to the headline and copy, and then to the collection of products below it faster, put it more higher up above the fold on the page without having the banner there, I thought performance might improve. But I was wrong. Not having a banner decreased conversion rate, revenue, and profit per session by 14%. So theory tested and theory busted. That's not good. We kept the banner on that LP and on every LP on our website. The newest kind of visual thing we're testing, I'm calling them like product page ads. And that's basically what they are. We are using the second and third slot of photos on our product pages to essentially serve as ads. Here's our first couple examples here. One just with a dope quote about the watch, said this watch is as smooth as Tennessee whiskey, because it's our Jack Daniels watch, so obviously that makes sense. And then for our Taylor Guitars watch, we actually have two of these. So the second slot says, this watch has perfect timing and looks great on stage, just like the musicians who wear it. Both those things are true. And then on the third slot, this was new for us. We did this kind of like USP graphic. We had actually made these graphics for Amazon a while ago when we sold on Amazon, to just kind of tell a little bit about the watch, call out what material it's made for, call out some give back stuff, the amount of reviews we have on it. The first round of testing we ran on these and a couple other products, and it produced a 20% increase in profit per session. That was very convincing. So we wanted to do some more of it. We whipped up round 2 of these things, and I tested it again just because I wanted to be sure. Wanted to make sure it worked. But after 48 hours, the new graphics were winning by over 500%. So I ended the test, and now we're working on rolling this out site-wide. And I know I'm supposed to wait for these tests to be statistically significant, but when 2 separate rounds of testing these graphics win by a solid margin, and it's a tactic I really believe in, I'm willing to commit to it early, just so we can start reaping the rewards quicker. The next step for us in this kind of placement of testing is going to be testing what type of content works here. Again, now we're basically just making static ads and testing them on our PDP. So we're going to test some lifestyle content. We're going to do some more, quote graphic review things. We're probably going to take some of our best performing statics from Facebook ads and test them as product images on our site as well. And in fact, I think that's a great way for you to start this. Go take your most proven static ads, put them as the second or third image on your product page, test it, and see if it performs. All right, the last thing I'm going to cover today is about testing site structure elements like your navigation or CTAs or pretty much anything else you can think of. But these 2 examples produce some really big results for us. First, there was like a horizontal scroll bar thing we built for our mobile website. We designed it in Figma. We thought it looked awesome. We had taken inspiration from some other brands we know who are killing it, who have kind of similar like product collections to ours. We tested it out. We thought it would help people get to the products they wanted quicker from our homepage. But we tested it, and it lost. If we had just rolled that out because we liked it, we would have lost 40 grand a month every single month we left it up. That's why you always got to test these things, even when it sounds like a good idea, even when it looks good, even when the marketing department likes it, even if you believe in it, test it, because you really never know. And in my 3 years of website split testing experience, I like to think I'm getting good at this, but really we're only benefiting from it because we test a lot and we listen to what the data says. It's not because we have any better intuition these days of what's going to work or what's not. We are surprised by split tests literally all the time. So no matter how much I believe in something, we always test it before implementing it site-wide. All right, the results of this last test were super shocking because we tested something that we probably shouldn't have tested. A lot of brands, especially in fashion, show like colorway variants on the product page. And we were one of those brands that had always showed them, had always had different color variants on each product page. It's one of those things that is kind of a best practice and no one ever really thinks to question it, but I'm really glad we did because showing the variants on the PDP actually decreased conversion rate by 43%. That means when we removed them, conversion rate almost increased by 100%. And like, again, this is one of those things that we all believed in it. It makes sense. It seems like it might be a better customer experience. We know that this, tactic, this element of your website works great for a ton of fashion brands, but we tested it and we were wrong. And it didn't work for us. And it was actually costing us a shit ton of money. What does this say here? That's a $650,000 a month in profit we were losing on something that was a no-brainer, on something we had on our website for years, and we never knew. There's literally a million other things you could test on your website, and I can't run you through every single split test we've ever ran on this episode, but what I hope this episode does is spark some inspiration for you to start looking at your website as your primary and most reliable testing ground. Because I can tell you there's not a single ad that I've ever launched in our account that has increased overall business performance by 20 or 50 or 100%. But every single one of these split tests is incredibly impactful to our entire business. The benefit of finding a new winner on your website is that it automatically makes every Facebook ad better, every influencer campaign, every email, every SMS, and it ultimately makes every dollar you spend on marketing more profitable. So that's why we focus so much of our creative testing strategy on our website, and I think you should too. This whole series is about how to split test like a pro. And I'm not saying I'm a pro, but PRO stands for Profit and Revenue Optimization. And this is some of the most impactful stuff we do for it. So I really encourage you to give these tactics a try. With IntelliGems, it's super easy to set up and get reliable data quickly. The next few episodes, I'm going to deep dive on how I write copy that converts, how I write messages to make people take out their wallets more often, and how you can do it too. We're going to talk about creating more profitable acquisition offers, from discounting and bundling and price anchoring. There's a whole lot you can do here. We're going to find out how to test your best ad traffic destinations. We're going to talk about how to make customizable, personalized funnels depending on characteristics we know about your site visitors. And ultimately, at the end of this series, you're going to be able to make your advertising dollars work harder and smarter, because your website's going to be so much better at extracting revenue and profit from every single person that comes to your website. So I hope you've been liking the series so far, and I hope you stay tuned for the next few episodes, because I think the best might be yet to come. Thanks for listening to Tactical and Practical. Feel free to hit me up on Twitter at Nate Lagos if you have any questions, and I'll see you next time.